Good afternoon, everyone. Now we'll be starting with the Act 3, Scene 3 of Tempest. This scene takes place in another part of the island, like all the rest of the scenes except Scene 1. All the scenes, they take place upon the island. So this scene takes place in another part of the island, and we return to the main plot, right? So in every act, there is one scene which talks about the main plot and the other scene which talks about the subplot. The subplot comprises Stefano, Trinquilo, Caliban. They are the characters of the subplot. And Alonso, Prospero, Sebastian, they are the characters of the main plot. That is the main story. Okay. So the most important thing now, what will happen in this scene, I'll just give you a summary of it and the important thing. See, this scene basically brings out the morality of the play. The theme of morality is dealt with in this scene. What will happen? Alonso and Party, right, they will be told about their sins. Ariel and Prospero will try to make them realize of the sins which they committed in the past, right? Their past deeds, their past evil deeds will be dealt with in this scene. So that is why you can say that the theme of this scene is morality, right? There'll be and then there is a banquet which is laid in front of them. So that banquet also has a lot of symbolism, right? We'll talk about it when we will come across it in the scene. So this is basically the main theme of the scene, that the three sinners and uh, about their impeachment, the impeachment of the three sinners, and then the spirits will ask them the sounds which they will hear. Ariel transforms itself into a harpy, right? So Ariel comes transformed into a harpy and makes them realize their sins. You remember their sins. What will be their sins? The way they treated Prospero and Miranda 12 years ago, right? So they'll be made to realize their sins, and then the harpy, that is Ariel, will talk about their repentance. Means how can they repent their evil deeds or misdeeds which they committed in the past. And then Alonso starts feeling guilty. Alonso feels remorseful and he wants to repent for his evil deeds. So these are the basic developments which will take place in this scene. So let's start. Scene 3, another part of the island. Enter Alonso, Sebastian, Antonio, Gonzalo, Adrian, Francisco, and others. So that is Alonso and group, Alonso and company, they enter the scene. Gonzalo, you remember the last thing which happened to them? What happened to them? Means Sebastian and Antonio, they tried to kill them, and their conspiracy was foiled by Ariel. Ariel came there and started humming in Gonzalo's ears, humming a song in Gonzalo's ears, and Gonzalo woke up and he made everyone get up from their sleep. Alonso and others, they also got up. And the excuse which was made by Sebastian and Antonio was that they heard the sound of lions and bulls, and so they drew their swords. Because Gonzalo says that why are you standing in such an attacking position, in this such a terrible position in front of us? So they say that because they heard some strange sounds of wild beasts, so they took out their swords. Enter Alonso. So these are the people who enter, and then they decide to move away from the place, right, and go ahead in search of Alonso's son Ferdinand. This was the last thing which they do. Now, what happens? Gonzalo, why are you laughing? I can go no further, sir. My old bones ache. Here's a maze trod indeed, through forthrights and meanders. By your patience I need must rest. So Gonzalo says, by Lakin means in the name of Virgin Mary. He swears, he says that I am saying in the name of Virgin Mary, I can go no further, sir. Sir, I'm very tired. It's like not possible for me to move any further. I won't be able to go ahead because I am completely exhausted, completely fatigued, and so I need some rest. You remember that Gonzalo was a very old person, right? And they have been walking for a long time. So he was feeling very tired. And so he makes a request to King Alonso that please allow me to rest. I cannot move further. My old bones ache. So my old bones now they have refused, they have given up, and they are not ready to allow me to move further. Here's a maze trod. Trod means path. So maze means confusing, right? Like a maze, like a labyrinth. So here's a maze path. So these paths, they are very confusing, right? It was an island, there were forests in that island, so obviously there won't be proper ways and roads made for them. So curvy path, meandering path, which is like a maze. So the paths here upon this island, they are very confusing. Indeed, through forthrights and meanders. And they are a mixture of forthrights. Forthrights means straight paths. They are a mixture of, they are a blend of forthright paths means straight paths as well as meanders. Meanders means winding path. So they are a mixture of straight paths as well as winding paths. So I am tired. It's like it seems as if we have been walking for a long period of time without reaching our goal, right? What was their goal? To find Ferdinand, right? So we have been walking, and we were not able to reach anywhere. We have not reached anywhere because the paths are very confusing. They are like a maze. So by your patience, I needs must rest me. So he says, by your patience here means by your permission. I request you to give me permission to rest for some time because my body demands rest. It needs to rest for some time before we move ahead. Alonso, O Lord, I cannot blame thee, who am myself attached with weariness to the dulling of my spirits. So King Alonso says that, O Lord, because Alonso was also an old person, he was also an old man. So he says, O Lord, my dear Lord, old Lord, I cannot blame you, right? I cannot blame you for being tired, for feeling fatigued. I cannot blame you. Why I can't blame you? Because I myself am feeling very weary. I myself am feeling overcome by fatigue. Attached means it seems as if the fatigue has taken its control over me. That exhaustion has taken its control over me. To the dulling of my spirits. To the dulling of my spirits means I am fatigued, I am tired to the extent that my mind has become depressed, right? And dull. And my spirits, they have become dull. It means that I am also feeling very, very tired. Sit down and rest. Even here, I will put off my hope and keep it no longer for my flatterer. So he says, so let's sit down and take some rest. Even here means from now on. From now on, I will put off my hope. Means I have decided to give up my hope. Which hope? That his son is alive, right? Alonso was hopeful that maybe Ferdinand survived, Ferdinand reached the island and he is alive. So he says that now I am also tired and my spirits have also become damp and dull. And so I have decided to give up all my hopes about my son being alive. Put off my hope and keep it no longer for my flatterer. So I won't let my spirits fool me, right? I won't allow anyone, I won't allow myself to be fooled by this false hope. No longer for my flatterer, he's down. So I won't be fooled, I won't deceive myself by believing that my son is alive. I know he's drowned. Now I believe that he's drowned, so I've decided to give up all hopes that he is still alive. He is drowned, whom thus we stray to find. And I know now, I have realized that he is drowned, whom? The person whom we are stray. Stray means wandering. The person whom we are wandering from one place to another, in whose search we are wandering from one place to another. We are moving from one place to another. I believe that Ferdinand is dead. And the sea mocks our frustrate search on land. And I'm sure that the sea has engulfed, that the sea has perished, the one whom we are searching fruitlessly without any result upon the land. Means our search for Ferdinand is a fruitless search. We won't get anything upon searching him on land. Why? Because the sea has already engulfed him, the sea has already drowned him, perished him. So I have started believing this reality. I have come to terms with this reality. Well, let him go. So it's better that I allow him to go and I let go of this hope. And so, because now I have come to terms with reality, so I should give up this search also. Right? When you know that Ferdinand is dead, then there is no need for him to search upon the island. So now I will let him go. Means I will give up this search, this hunt of Ferdinand also. Antonio, aside to Sebastian, I'm right glad that he's so out of hope. So Antonio says that I'm very happy that he is out of hope, that now he has also given up hope that Ferdinand is alive. I'm very happy that Alonso has also started believing. Right, glad means I'm very happy, right? That so out of hope means he has also given up hope, that Alonso has given up hope of his son being alive. So I'm very happy. Do not for one repulse forego the purpose that you resolve to effect. So Antonio tells Sebastian that just because one repulse means defeat, just because we were defeated once, just because we were not able, we were not successful in our first attempt. Which attempt are they talking about? Their attempt to kill Alonso and Gonzalo, right? Their conspiracy. So they are talking about it. So Antonio says that do not for one repulse forego the purpose. Forego means abandon, leave. So just because we are defeated once, we should not leave our purpose, right? We should not end our plan. One defeat is not the end of our plan, or we should not sway from our goal, the goal of killing Alonso and Gonzalo. We should not leave it, we should not abandon it. That you resolve to effect, that we intended, that we decided to carry out, the plan which we intended to carry out, the plan which we decided to fulfill, we should try our level best to implement it. It doesn't matter that we were defeated in the first attempt. We'll get another chance to do it. So they have yet not given up their plan of killing Alonso and Gonzalo. Sebastian, aside to Antonio. The next advantage will we take thoroughly. So Sebastian also, you see, they are talking secretly, right? And nobody is able to hear. That's why it's written aside to Antonio, aside to Sebastian. It means they are whispering to each other in each other's ears, and the others are not able to listen to what they are talking about. The next advantage will we take thoroughly. The next advantage here means the next opportunity, right? The next opportunity which will come across our way, we will make the best use of it. We'll take it thoroughly means we'll make the best use of the next opportunity which comes our way. The next opportunity of killing in Alonso and Gonzalo. We make the best use of that opportunity. Antonio, let it be tonight, for now they are oppressed with travel. They will not, nor cannot use such vigilance as when they are fresh. So then they make a plan that let it be tonight. Let us implement our plan tonight itself. Why? Because they are oppressed with travel. Oppressed means they are tired, they are exhausted because of extensive travel, right? They are feeling very tired now. So this is the best time to kill them tonight when they fall asleep, because they will be in deep sleep because they are very tired. So why not try to act upon our plans at today night? They will not, nor cannot use such vigilance. And because they are so exhausted, they are so tired, so they will not be so vigilant, right? They will not be so alert. They will not be so watchful. So very easily we can kill them as when they are fresh, right? They will not be so alert as they are when they are fresh, when they are feeling fresh, when their body is very active, when their body and spirits are very active and agile, right? When they are feeling fresh, then they are alert also. But because today they are so tired and exhausted, so they will not be so vigilant, they will not be so watchful. So we can kill them tonight itself. Sebastian, aside to into. I say tonight, no more. So Sebastian agrees to the plan and he says, yes, yes, I agree for tonight. You are right. Tonight we can act upon our plan. No more. No more means now stop talking. Now we should not stop this conversation and you should not speak any further. Keep quiet. Solemn and strange music. And then what happens? At that moment, a solemn and strange music is heard. A serious and strange music is heard. Alonso, what harmony is this? My good friend, hark. So it surprises everyone in the group. And so Antonio says, just listen. Hark means listen, right? Just listen to this strange music. What type of music is this? My good friends, my good fellows, what type of music is it? Just listen to it. Gonzalo, marvelous sweet music. So he says it's really marvelous. It's a very wonderful, sweet music. Enter Prospero. And then as the music is being played, what happens? Who enters the scene? Prospero enters, who is invisible. So Prospero can see everyone, but the members of this group, none of them are able to see Prospero. Enter below several strange shapes, bringing in a banquet. They dance about it with gentle actions of salutations and inviting the king and company to eat. They depart. So what happens? Prospero enters. Ariel is already there, right? And then along with the Prospero, several strange shapes means all the many spirits also enter, and they enter in their strange, unusual shapes, bringing in a banquet. And what do? They just bring in a banquet. What is a banquet? Banquet is a very, you can say, lavish and a very elaborate kind of a meal, like in large quantities, food in large quantities, which is to feed many people, right? So that is a banquet. And these strange shapes, strange creatures, they enter and they carry a very elaborate banquet for these people, and they dance about it gently, and then they just keep everything there on the table, and then they dance around it. They dance. The banquet is laid, the food is laid very nicely, and then they dance around it, about it with gentle actions of salutation. So they dance, and then the gestures which they make is of salutation, means they greet these people, that is Alonso and company, right? They offer their greetings to these people, inviting, and then they make gestures which are a kind of invitation to these people to come and eat. They depart, and then they leave the place, right? They come there, they lay the banquet, the food is laid, and then they dance, gesturing them to, inviting them to come forward and have food, and then they disappear, right? And then these spirits, disguised as strange shapes, they disappear. See, the banquet. Now, why does Prospero lay a banquet? See, the banquet here is symbolic of the material comforts. You know, these people, they are tired. All of them are tired. All of them are hungry. They didn't get any food from the time the ship wrecked, and they landed upon this island. So what does food do? Good food. Good food is taken as a material comfort here, right? So what happened? All these people, that is Alonso, Antonio, Sebastian, what do they desire? They have always desired material success. All the worldly comforts and luxuries has always been their desire, right? These are the things you can say, all the these are the people, this group, that is including Alonso's, Antonio, Sebastian, right? This group has a lot of greed, right? It talks about the human greed, the desires of human being which crave for all the material comforts and the luxuries of life, right? So this banquet being laid in front of them is a symbol that they are being given what they desire. And then what will happen? After some time, that banquet will disappear, right? They will not be able to eat anything. So that disappearance of banquet, what will it show? I told you that this scene talks about the morality, the theme of morality. So that disappearance of banquet will tell us about the material things and the material comforts being illusionary. They are not something real. So running after them is, you can say, not a very good thing to do, because all these material comforts and luxuries are like illusion. They will disappear after some time. They are not going to be with you forever. So first Prospero presents a lavish meal in front of them, right, which is a symbol of material comforts and their immoral greed, because they were very hungry. They were very hungry at this time. So hunger and greed are related. Both mean the desire. Hunger in the literal sense means desire for food. If you take it in the figurative sense, it can be used as a desire for all the material comforts, right? And then there is another meaning also, that these people, they have a hunger for power, for luxuries of life. They have a hunger for fame, all these things, but they are not willing to work for it. Did they work for the food which is laid in front of them and which they are about to eat? No, they didn't work for it, but they are ready to eat it. Compelled by their hunger, compelled by their greed, they will move forward to consume that food which they have actually not earned. Like Antonio, Sebastian was also doing the same. Working on a conspiracy, right? Hatching a conspiracy to murder his own brother. Why? Why did he want to kill his own brother? To get the throne, to become the king of Naples. Why did Antonio banish his brother? To get the dukedom of Milan. Why did Alonso help Antonio to throw Prospero out of the kingdom? For his own greed, to take over Milan, to make Milan subordinate to Naples. So all these people in the group, they are greedy people. These three main characters, they are actually full of greed and they are not willing to work to fulfill their desires. They only believe in snatching away and taking up all the possible shortcuts to fulfill their desires without, so they are like parasites, you can say. What does a parasite do? Does the parasite work for its own food? No, it thrives on the nutrition and the food from others, from the host. So they are, these three of them, they are parasitic people, right? Clear? So that is how the theme of morality is brought about. That was the symbolic meaning of the banquet being laid in front of them. So then coming back to the text, actions of salutation, inviting the king and company to eat, and they depart. So they just invite them to come forward and have the meals, and then they depart. Alonso, give us kind keepers. Give us kind keepers, Hans. What were these? So Alonso was very surprised on seeing those strange creatures. And he says, oh God, what strange creatures they were. And they seem to be like angels. See, because what they did for them, like they are hungry and somebody comes and serves you a meal. So what will you think? You won't think of that person to be that person or that creature to be a wicked one. What you will think, that creature or that person was really great. That person is like an angel. So Alonso addresses those spirits like those strange creatures which were spirits as angels. He says, oh, the God has sent these angels from heavens. What were these? What were these strange creatures? I actually have no idea, because he is seeing those strange creatures for the first time. Sebastian, a living drollery. Now I will believe that there are unicorns, that in Arabia there is one tree, the phoenix's throne, one phoenix at this hour reigning there. So, because they are seeing so many strange things upon this island, which they have never seen before in their life, so Sebastian says that this was like a living drollery. Living drollery means a puppet show. But these puppets which came and performed in front of us, they were like alive. They were not non-living things like the puppets in the puppet show. So this was like a living puppet show which we saw in front of us. Now I will believe that there are unicorns. And now I am forced to believe anything which is incredible, which is difficult to believe. After seeing these strange things happening upon this island, after being a witness to these strange sights upon this island, I am ready to believe anything. You come with any story which you find difficult to believe, but I will believe. I will believe. So now I will believe that there are unicorns. So he gives two examples. Now I am ready to believe the existence of unicorns also. You know what is a unicorn? It's a mythological horse with a horn on its nose, right? So in the fairy tales, you must have read about unicorns. So he says that now I am ready to believe on the existence of unicorns also. You tell me, I will believe that they are not mythological creatures. They actually do exist. That in Arabia, there is one tree, the phoenix's throne. So even I am ready to believe in the existence of phoenix also. Phoenix again is a mythological bird, right? So in stories and fairy tales, we come across phoenix also. So he says, I am ready to believe that phoenix also exists. And there in Arabia, all these stories which are related to phoenix, which I've read and come across, and which have come to my knowledge, that in Arabia there is a tree, and that tree is the throne of phoenix, and one phoenix is reigning there, is ruling from that tree. I'm ready to believe all this. I'm ready to believe all these strange things, strange and unbelievable things. After being a witness to such unusual events, I can believe anything. Antonio, I'll believe both. So Antonio also says, yes, yes, I will also believe both. I both means the unicorns and the phoenix both, right? I also will believe. Till now, I thought of them to be mythological creatures, to be non-existent creatures. But after coming across such strange things upon this island, I am also ready to believe on the existence of both the phoenix and unicorn. And what does else one credit? Come to me. And if there is anything which you want credit from me, which you want me to believe, which you are finding it slow to believe, right? Or which seems to be incredible to you, you come to me. And I'll be sworn to test true. And I'm ready to take an oath that it is true. Anything which is difficult to believe, you bring that thing to me, and I will swear by it that this is true. Travelers never did lie, though fools at home condemn. Now I have realized that all these travelers, what happened earlier, that these travelers, because they visited different places. See, in those days there was no internet, so people came to know about different lands only from the mouths of these travelers who went to different lands, different countries, different continents. And when they came back to their homes, to their hometowns, they brought along with them strange stories about those foreign lands. And then these these people who never went out of their hometown, they found it really difficult to believe the stories about different cultures, the story about different people in different parts of the world, right? They found it difficult to believe. So that is what Antonio is saying, that travel, that now I realize this fact that all the stories which were told by travelers were true. They never did lie. Means the travelers, when they narrated their strange stories, the stories about unusual people and unusual things, all of them were true. Though fools at home condemned them. And the fools at home, the fools who lived in their hometowns, who were the listener of these stories, they condemned them. They tried to find fault with their stories. They didn't believe their stories. But now I realize that the reality is that their stories were true. Whatever the travelers told, it was very correct. I think we should stop here. The time is over and we'll continue tomorrow.